looking to the future, how much of these changes in consumer behavior are going to stick?
I do think that there has been already and will be a significant change in behavior. For example, I'm working from home. That is going to stick. We're already starting to see that. Flexible commuting times, not having to go to the office, in the morning. Flexibility, I think, is going to be very important. So that will stick. If 32% of American households are trialing for the first time online grocery or necessity, but that's going to stick. It's much more convenient. These models stick, I think, when consumers get used to them. So a lot of this stuff, will I be traveling as much after the lockdown? Probably not. The technology is enabling now, and it hasn't been developed fully yet. So I'm not suggesting we'll get to beam me down Scotty, from Star Trek. Time is your most scarce resource, and this recession, this lockdown tells you a lot about that. Leisure travel will be less international, certainly for the first year, 18 months, 2 years. So patterns will change. So I think that a lot of these things, some of them won't be permanent, but a lot of them will.
I want to just take it back to brand messaging. We talked a lot about how brands should navigate the middle of the pandemic. What's your advice for how brand messaging should evolve as we come out of lockdown?
My view is that's the time to be aggressive. So going back to your examples around Coca-Cola and others, that's the time. So, you have a little bit of time to plan. But I think when you come out of the traps, it's like, I would say the same thing as a parallel to S4. So our view is that by the end of May, and certainly by the end of June, a lot of these lockdowns will be eased to a significant degree. And we think that's the time when we as a company should be more aggressive, if I can put it, in our marketing, if you like. So I would say the advice would be now's the time to plan, and then you invest. There is I heard something a few weeks ago about people locking down Q4, actually free-to-air television spots, because it looked like pricing was advantageous, and that was the time when they thought. So a company like Nike, which I think is really interesting in what they did, as I understand it, in China, they had a fitness app that gave away to the consumer during the lockdown for free, and their online sales leapt 30%. And then when the lockdown was eased, they left it free, and online sales went up 70%, whatever the figure was. And there's talk of them being at the same level as they were in China in Q4 as they were in Q4 of 19. So I do think those are good examples of where you make adjustments during the lockdown period. Consumer patterns have shifted during that period of time, and you reap the benefit of it. And you see that significantly across the board.